Oh,
All right,
Like she's
folks.
got my
oh
schedule.
man, look at that red hat, sister. Woo! Shake it, boy. What you got in that cup there?
The secret sauce.
Oh, we can see. Hi, Lane. Hi, Scott. Who's that? Linda? Suzanne? We can't see Suzanne. Michael.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mine is taped off. My viewer's taped off.
Oh, now. Come on. I got all ready for this. Let's see ya.
Okay. Okay, now everybody, if they don't want to be on the picture, they don't have to be.
I'm kidding.
I got you. Okay.
We love you.
Hey, good evening. Hello, Kurt. It's great to have you on. Everybody, I want to welcome you to this. It's great to have Scott on tonight. Excuse Scott. He says he's doing chlorine in his pool and stuff like that. But one thing that Susan emailed me earlier with a question, and I want to get on a couple of questions that she asked about. One of them was having to deal with on the crew side underneath the options of fundraisers, getting companies or groups to sign on through there and stuff. And Susan, I contacted Rob just to double check on my end on that, and he says any company can sign up. You have to have like one particular, they can get in, type in their information, they can sign up, and what will happen is they can do their fundraisers. They can have, in your area, you being the hopefully the expert. If not, somebody in the area can get with you, help walk them through. You can contact myself, you can contact Rob or any of them along the lines of a fundraising operation. And after last night's call also with the, what would you call it? The new potential walkthrough
Platform.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy. The platform will be a lot more informational also. But what's happening right now is Rob says any group can sign up and they can do the fundraising, and you can have the people come in, you can type in the information for the residential, and then it will be distributed to them along that aspect. Now, whether I asked him about whether it's a nonprofit or organization like that, he said you can just have them sign up, and what they will do on their end is they will deal with the company or the group on that aspect down the road when it comes to setting up like they're dealing with their bank accounts and how they get paid and stuff. They can deal with it from that end, Susan. So there's something that you really don't have to worry too much about on your end of, well, how do I set them up or do this? They just need to get in there, they can sign up, and all the aspects of the financing for them to get paid can be set up down the road, like whatever W-2s, 1099s, all that kind of stuff can be handled later on, okay? And so that's the answer to your first question. The second question.
Okay, so is everybody else familiar with that fundraising option under crew?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because this is...
All right, yeah, I understand. You can go into actually, let me, while we're sitting here talking, let me bring up the screen, and I'll bring that up for y'all.
Thanks. And the reason is because David Levine actually brought it up again last night on that call.
Right, yeah. Okay, this is not allowing me to do that. So
and I was thinking, like, for the schools,
yeah.
Like, the schools are always looking for fundraisers, and I'm trying to figure out how this actually works.
Yeah. And just allow me to log in here, and I'll go into my site. And
I know, Scott, you're working with a couple of schools too, I think.
Yeah, Scott might be a good one to get in here on this.
It's your turn to talk, Scott.
Yeah, just the 1K.
Do what?
We can't hear you. You're moving.
We heard you for a minute, Scott, and then you disappeared. We see you, but we didn't hear you.
Bear with me. I got to turn off my Wi-Fi.
I know that feeling.
Bear with me. My batteries came out of my keyboard, so I'm having to reload them. I'll be with y'all while I bring this page up. Just bear with me and while Scott.
Yeah, no worries. And just again, just for everybody else that's on the call, the reason I asked Lane about this earlier is I was just thinking as I approach different organizations, you know, an additional incentive for them to be more interested in, you know, getting even solar for their school or something like that. And then in addition, if I was thinking like, you know, if family members at the school might want solar, then maybe a portion gets donated to that organization if they get solar. And then do we actually receive some, I don't know what the compensation is or how all that works, I guess.
Hey, Susan, can you guys hear me okay now? This is Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, I'm working with the local school district, and, you know, being in my little hillbilly town here in PA, you know, I happen to personally know all the, you know, the principal and the maintenance director and all these people. So it's moving along slowly, slower than I want it to, but everything still seems to be on track. I'm hoping that, you know, they'll be ready to sign the agent agreement within the next month or two. But regardless, so, you know, when I had talked to the principal, I definitely had talked to him about that whole option. And, you know, I said, listen, you know, after you guys install solar, everyone else in the community is going to see that, be interested, curious. And I said, you know, I even offered, I said, being the local rep, I said, if you guys simply want to sign up under CREW as an organization to raise funds for the school, as you know, you can sign up under me. I'll work, you know, you just find the people that are interested, promote it through the school, and then I'll take it from there. And, you know, they'll earn the majority of the commission and I'll get the top for being their sponsor. You know, I assume that's just how it would work.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with whatever tiny amount it was and giving them the majority of it. I think the whole idea of it is just awesome, of being able to help the school raise funds, not only save them, you know, them in particular. We had like a 1.2 million savings projection over 30 years. So not only is that huge in itself for them, but yeah, all the funds they could make from everyone in town who wanted to go solar after they install.
Yeah, Scott, and I appreciate that. And that's kind of like the answer that I got from Rob today along that for you, Susan, and stuff. Is kind of like along the lines like Scott is you can have them sign up and then you pretty much, and especially with that new platform and video last night that they're talking about, something that you can bring to the people and it will be personalized to you and you can talk to them and show them this, but then also let them sign up, but not so much to let the homeowners sign up right then or customers or the schools themselves, but let the fundraisers or the people that are wanting to do this, let them sign up, and then you can get the homeowners, the residential customers, and even the schools and stuff to sign up through that. Right. Okay. This is where it is, everybody. Now I've already logged in to my site, jointhecrew.com/my extension, and I signed in, and it's right here. It's the fundraisers. You'll go to our values and then click on our fundraisers, and we'll let it come up. And right here it is. And now you think about it. If as Rob stated, you know, of course, the first two sales, you know, you're looking at the 40% and stuff like that. But with the fundraiser, folks, after the two sales and stuff like that, if you get 50 to 100 homes from a school, from a municipality, or anything like that, a church, that they want to do fundraising, how many of y'all have faced the grandkids, the kids coming home with the fundraising options, and you're spending the $16 to $18 for the little cup of ice cream and stuff like that, and you do it because you want to support your school, you want to support the church, stuff like that. Well, how about if they sign up one homeowner? Doesn't cost them anything because they're already paying for their solar panels. But they sign up the one homeowner, and the homeowner say, "Look, I'd like to take a look at it, see what we can do." And then all of a sudden, this group that's trying to raise the funds, all of a sudden they turn around and say, "Well, you just earned $1,800. You get $900 at the signing, you get $900 at the finish of the install." Well, it pretty much wipes out all of the kids that are usually doing the fundraisers in one sale for them. They will earn pretty much with, you get 100 kids, 200 kids going out there, and they're selling $16 worth like that, and they're like, okay, cool, we raised $3,000. Well, with solar, they can raise that in 1 or 2 sales, and that is a selling point there. Another thing is the parents and the people need to realize that, as I mentioned to y'all before, they are already paying for this. We're not asking you to spend any extra. You're already spending it on your monthly utility bill. What we're trying to do is show you how to, as Rob has stated, turn that monthly payment into an investment into your home, into your business, into your municipality, into your church, even to your school districts. And that's the big plus there. And then the referral commissions are built into the rewards plan, and it's based on, as Scott had just mentioned, you sign them on. Yeah, we're the sponsor, but they are the number one. They end up becoming pretty much like a crew partner. They're going to get the majority of this. And like Scott said, we'll get a little bit, and that's fine with me, because we're helping the community, we're helping the different groups, and that's what's the most important thing. And but I just wanted to show that it's in our values, and then you also have professionals that you can click on. But let me go down through and see. There's not much. They're inspiring communities. Let them know solar. But as this new platform with the software that Rob talked about last night comes out, and you personalize it, and you get up there and you set up meetings to talk to people. And granted, at first you may not be comfortable to get up there and talk to someone. You can practice with it. You can get maybe someone else that might be in your area that's in crew to talk, that might really know a lot more about it. If not, just yourself talk if you feel comfortable dealing with people. If not, you can call myself, you can call Scott, you can email Rob Styler, you can email Scott, Jeremy, myself, even Mike Powers dealing over there with them in Florida with the PACE programs and stuff. There's plenty of folks in crew that are going to be glad to help you, to try and help you walk through any questions or concerns you got. But the best thing is, number one, is just to continue talking about solar through crew. You will get better and better. You may not know a lot at first, but the more that you deal with it and the more that you talk to people, the better you will become with it. Okay?
Hey, Lane, can I, while we're on this topic too, I want to throw one more thing in.
Yeah.
This is just to give other people an idea. Now, one other thing I've done, and I'm still communicating with them. I don't know if anything will come of it or not. But when I first joined Crew, I started looking out to just nonprofit environmental groups in my area, and I had found quite a few down in Pittsburgh, up in Erie. So I started sending out just some emails. I'd look up like who the director was. Usually their email's listed somewhere. Send them a nice email. I did get one response that was decent down in Pittsburgh, where she invited me down. I went down. It was a group called Conservation Consultants Incorporated down in Pittsburgh. It's just a nonprofit group. It's made up of, energy consultants down in the Pittsburgh area. There's about 40 to 50 of them. And, I kind of got her interested in the whole, hey, you're nonprofit organization. Not only do you have a bunch of energy consultants at your disposal, but if you join this, and then have all them sign up under your organization, as they're out there doing what they do every day anyways, they can actually be raising funds for your organization. And that really got her kind of a little bit excited. It raised her eye, and at least enough that we're still communicating back and forth. So that's, it doesn't just have to be your school. I mean, that's, that can be for any kind of organization out there. But, especially in the fact, if you can find an environmental group or, something of that nature, boy, it just really hits home for them. Like, you guys are already doing this. Why not get paid to do what you're doing?
Yes, excellent, Scott. And I appreciate it. That's great. And that's the one thing. It's like y'all heard Scott mention, he emails and stuff like that. I continually go to the Longview Chamber of Commerce stuff here. I continually talk to people. I continue to reach out. You may not know everything, but continue to reach out. You may send out 100 things, emails, maybe even talk to people, hand out 100 business cards. And all of a sudden you get that one group, that one person, that one homeowner that comes in, and that one homeowner then turns around and gives you 5, 10 referrals. Or as we've got here, the professional, the crew referral networks. And it's the same thing, and I brought it up right here. I hope y'all see it. It's underneath our values, the professionals. And it says career interface. It says there's 2 options. You can reach out to realtors, bankers, mortgage people, everything. You can just refer people to crew. Our professionals will handle everything. You earn $500 for a referral who upgrades the solar. Now, it's not just saying you're going to give them the $500 just for the referral. They have to actually sign the paperwork and move forward with the install. And that's one of the aspects that you want to look at. And you're like, well, they don't even need to sign up to be a crew partner. But I guarantee you, when they start getting some checks from the installs, they're going to come back to you and say, what's it going to take me to sign up and get in this with y'all? You know, if I'm making $500 here, I might want to do this. And as you know, realtors especially, and I've reached out I've actually done this in about the last 2 weeks. I've sent out about 50 emails to some current people that I met at the Chamber of Commerce meetings. And Jeremy and I have one next Tuesday. I sent emails out about this and said, look, you don't have to do nothing. You refer them to me, let the homeowner know that I'm going to be reaching out to them. If they're interested, if you talk to them, let them know that I'll contact them. I'm not going to harass them. I need their address. I need, if I can get it, their bill, and I will get them a pre-assessment and show them what we can say. If they move forward, you don't have to do anything else. What we will do is we'll do all the information, all the work, take all the information. We'll do the work. If they install, you're going to get paid. And realtors, they'd be glad to follow on this and jump on it. And that's where it's like right here says real estate agents, congratulations and blah, blah. But you can go in there and look at this, and you got home service professionals, you have roofers, you have window installers, you have insulation people that you can reach out to, plumbers, electricians, everything. And you may be a little shy at first, but you can send emails out. You can run by an office and just drop off your business card and say, hey, I know you're busy. I'd like to set up a meeting with the owner. I'd just like to talk with them about 15 minutes. And you can actually set up a meeting. A lot of times they'll set the meeting up where you can visit with them. It's where you just go in right away and try and do a sale right there. You don't want to do that unless you know. But a lot of times they're busy. They don't want to do them. But if you actually set up a meeting to get with them, their secretary, their bookkeeper, whatever, will set the meeting up, and then you can go in and talk with them. 15 minutes, pretty much in 15 minutes, you can let them know everything about us with proof.
Hey guys, Lane, I want to throw one more out there for you. Then while you're talking about that, insurance. I'm working, with my godfather, and he's an insurance broker, so he does auto, home, life, and everything. But that's another good one, and he's going to let me bring. I haven't even done that yet, gosh, but he's going to let me bring. I got a little too much going on.
I understand.
He's going to let me bring flyers. Yeah, right. I know it's not. I'm not going to complain one bit, but So he said he'd go as far as he'd let me put posters up in his windows, and he'd put them on his desk and hand them out to his clients. He does both residential and commercial insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one because come in for And here's another way, just so people can understand how you can approach this. Guys, a lot of us buy insurance. We have an insurance broker. Why not call them and say, hey, I want to go over options for homeowner insurance policies. I want to shop and see, if I can get a better rate. They'll say, sure, come on in and sit down. Go in and talk to them about homeowners insurance. And then when you're done, hey, you know what? I'm just going to throw this out to you because I'm doing it, and I know a lot of insurance brokers are getting in on this. Here, let me tell you about Crew. That's a great way right there to just get your foot in the door to someone who really could help you out if they like the idea of it.
Yes, exactly. And the aspects of this business are endless, and it's continuing to really move forward with things that are happening and going on. And you might be a little shy at first, stuff like that. Like I said, and like Scott mentioned, just go in and talk to someone that you may know, like your own personal insurance agent. Walk in, and you give them your business card and say, hey, you got time to speak? And most of the time they're gonna walk you right in and let you visit with them. And you can just post along and say, look, I'm doing this, I'm building the business. Do you mind if I possibly, show them a brochure? So do you mind if I leave a couple of these in a business card? And a lot of times they're not going to have any problem with that. But then along that lines, they might say, well, give me a little more information. Let me know what you're wanting to do. Well, then you have a potential client right there with your agent. And he has a vested interest in you as a client that he's going to listen to what you're offering to help his folks with.
There's something too, Lane, that, that's kind of what one of the original topics we had for the call was, like approaching a customer or, coming to people that you're not used to talking to. That's the one thing that we've been trying to encourage you with, and is to get your basic understanding, get your, don't worry about what you don't know. To admit that you don't know, say, I know this and I know this. And Karen, I'm proud of you. I saw your posting today. Did really good. And, the thing is, some of y'all been on several times, and that's one of the big things I really wanted to point out. Some of this is redundant, it's repetitive, and some of it is new to other people. But at the same time, the more you understand something, the better you can explain it. And I'll give you just a real brief, quick example. My kids, I try to tell them something, show them something, like, for example, from the Bible. I show them something, but I turn around and have them read it, and I show it to them, explain it to them, and then later ask them questions. But I'm renewing it, refreshing it, keeping it fresh in their mind, and then they draw to it quickly. One of the things that I've asked, like my daughter, to do, hey, you know what? Ask this question. Ask yourself that question. You know what? Think. You know what? I've seen many times, I've seen Jenny sitting there taking notes. If you write something down or if you draw a picture of it, you see what I'm saying? Just little things like that. Just even if you never looked at it again, the fact that you wrote it down or you drew a picture or a chart or an example to explain it to you, just something that you can look at. Believe me, I speak a little Spanish. Mine is half and half. I told my wife I speak 2.5 languages, English, redneck, and halfway on Spanish. But that's like the greeting in Spanish, ¿Cómo está? I write it K-O-M-O-S-T-A, ¿Cómo está? With a dash in between. It ain't spelled like that, but I learned it that way. So whatever you can do, whatever technique you can use to learn, be familiar with, use it. Just writing it down is like recording it in your brain. Just whatever step you can use to familiarize yourself, you can refresh it, you can look back at it like, oh, I know what that is. Lane, you remember when we first talked with Rob with citizenry, he mentioned the blue Post-it notes and blue ink. There's something about that your brain will trigger and respond and remember that. He would write something down on a blue Post-it note or a blue index card in blue ink, put it on the refrigerator like, I'm going to own this cabin by this time. I'm going to own me a house, a cabin or a house by such and such date. And y'all want to jog his brain. Ask him about the blue Post-it notes or the blue index cards, the blue ink about his cabin. And the thing is something about that your brain will register, it will trigger, and you will end up making a goal, and you just put it on the refrigerator, see it every day. You're going to boom, boom, boom. You're going to do like Karen did today without meaning to. You're going to have your confidence there. You didn't think about it, did you, Karen? It just came to you naturally because you went with what you knew.
Yeah, it flowed smoothly because I'd had enough conversations before. I'd done enough network marketing companies that never went anywhere. That knew how to talk and when to back off. I recognized when I'd said I was about to say too much, and she'd already said she wanted to know. There was nothing more to say to scare. I needed to not scare off. It was time to shut up and go back to her job and the town and that stuff.
And that's the one thing that you know, we've mentioned that before, like with the customers at the shows, home builder shows and so forth. You know, ask them their name, talk to them, get information about them. You know, that's one of the things you can observe. If they've got kids, you know, you can mention things pertaining to their kids' future. You know, you can incorporate it that way. If they don't have kids, they're well dressed, you know, they're financial minded. You know, you can kind of look at them and see what type of person they are, and you can address it from a different angle. But by being familiar with basics, and believe me, a lot of people have more respect for you when you say, hey, I'm still kind of new at this. I know I can turn around and I can get you an estimate. No problem. I'll be happy to help you out. If you have a specific question, if I don't know the answer, I got somebody I can get you the answer. I got a good support team. We'll get the answer. That gives them confidence in you.
I just want to make
something. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add something since I've made that post today. So it went smoothly today because I was laid back. I was just kind of standing there in the AT&T store. But it's also partly because once I said a little bit, she was really interested in solar and the money she could save. So part of the conversation that we have with people that may go well or go sour is we're looking for the people that are actually looking for this. Some people, they're complaining. We're looking for people that were looking, and she was really interested, and that made it so much easier. I didn't feel any need to push or sell or whatever. And so we're looking for people who are looking for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And Karen, I give you great credit for that, because one of the things that we need to understand is we're so excited and passionate about this. We can become overexcited. You know, you want to keep talking information. The number one most important thing is, as you begin talking to them and they gain interest, is to stop and just listen and see where they're at with it. And then when they're able to start asking you some questions, then the door opens up to you, and you will become more relaxed, as you're saying, Karen. It was just free flowing and stuff like that, and it will become natural, and then they'll converse back with you with questions and kind of let them see where they're at, you know, and what they're doing. And one thing I wanted to point out here, Susan asked another question, and Scott, maybe you can help me a little on this because I'm not 100% sure on it. But she says, if I input a prospect lead, the prospect has responded to providing utility bill, has not yet provided a utility bill. It's still an agreement. I know we can still deal with the Geostellar pros over there. We can hand it over to them for the lead, and they will reach out and contact them. But one thing I wanted to point out is they're going to contact us as a crew member. You can put the information in the notes that, look, you can contact me, or if you want them to contact the homeowner, they will do it. But one thing you need to do is let the homeowner know that they are going to reach out, the designers and the engineers, to contact them to finish walking through. Is that correct, Scott, on your end? And also it said that I believe it's a 50-50 split, Dan. Is that correct? Do you know? I don't have 100% on that. And I haven't been able
I don't believe it's a 50-50 split.
I wasn't sure. I didn't think it was, but I just wanted to double check with you.
Yeah, and you know, I will point out though, just because I'm very outspoken and adamant about it, that, you know, if you have a lead with the information, of course, if you have the power bill, that's 95% better. Mm-hmm. Literally, I would say 95% out of 100. You know, if you don't have the power bill, it's not bound to go much of anywhere. But we can't, you know, we can't just rely on them to take over. They will reach out. You know, if you put in the lead, go ahead and put in the notes. You know, customer is interested in getting an estimate. Go ahead and figure out the estimate and send it to them via email. They'll go ahead and they'll work up the estimate. They'll shoot it right over to them. You know, but I don't think they're going to be very proactive. They have so many of these leads in front of them. Yeah. They just can't do that with everyone. You know, they can't work a lead like we can. So, you know, although yes, can you just hand it over to them? You can, and you'll still make the same commission if it ends up closing. But you have a 90% or more chance better of getting that sale if you, what I do is when I submit a lead, and let me say this real quick, just because I was talking to someone about this the other day, and they said, I don't understand how Geostellar gets the estimate for them. And I said, listen, I don't wait for Geostellar to get them the estimate. I give them the estimate. I get their power bill. We do have the power to go in there and manipulate the numbers to make it, input their kilowatt usage, input their rate. And then all I do is after I'm all done building that profile and creating their estimate, I'll put in the notes. I say, please review, make sure that I'm accurate, and then send me the 3 estimates via email. And that's what they do for me. I'm sure, they'll do it for you however you want it, but that's how I ask. And then that way I have the 3 emails. I can send it to the customer. So, I don't get Geostellar's rep even involved to speak with the customer until the customer has already said, okay, yes, I'd like to move forward and get some bids. Let's move on.
It's always better, just my personal experience. I haven't had a whole lot. I'm a boy from Alabama over in Texas, and I don't know a whole lot of people. So, it's a little sketchy sometimes. But the one thing I do know dealing with sales since I was 9 years old, if you start something, it's best if you finish it. They're building that trust with you, and that's part of what Rob was bringing out last night. They're developing that trust with you. You getting that common ground, like the Stingray deal. Rob sat there with his foot in the scalding hot water for an hour before he started bringing up the solar. The thing is, once they're comfortable with you, they're going to be more comfortable with you. Yeah, they're going to be great with Geostellar closing it, and that's where it works out real well. But we need to get them to the point that Geostellar can, hey, okay, on this end, we need to take care of this, and that. We need to, it's kind of like you dealt with a salesman buying a car. Now it's time to go to the finance guy. They've like, I like it. I like this car. I like the way it rides, blah, blah, blah. You sold me. I want it. Then you shift them over to the finance person, and that's basically what we're doing when we shift them to Geostellar.
Hey, Jeremy.
That's a perfect analysis.
Yeah, but Jeremy, so listen, this is Suzanne. I'm the one who sent in the question. Here's the thing. Look, I've been in sales for forever. I get that. My question was, and my understanding is, even before we joined up with Geostellar, is that, listen, they offered a lead system, and their initial want from us, even though that has changed, is that, hey, if you have leads, send it to us and we'll split it with you, which is fine with me. Where I'm at is I put in some prospects. I followed up with them. I'm trying to get hold of them. They don't respond. So my thing is they have a whole call center there. Those folks are right there. I'm going to let them put it in their queue at this point. Like I'm tired of dealing with it.
Right.
Then if they get any last minute residual out of it by their phone calls and want to split that 50-50 with me, awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay. All right. Good.
I don't think that's the case, guys. And we could double check on this to make certain, but I don't think that's even the case. I mean, as long as it's your lead, you created it, it's on your profile, say, because I have a few of those out there where, I've tried, I can't get in touch with them. Okay. There's, and I told Jed, my rep, hey, that's not a closed deal. I just haven't spoke with them. I haven't gotten to know. Will you follow up with them via email in a month or a week or whatever? And, so say it's 2 months down the line that he finally connects with them and they go forward, you still get your commission just like you would have any other time. I don't think that, there's any circumstance where they take a higher percentage of the commission.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I'm kind of with Susan, I'm like, if I'm, pardon a Southern term, if I'm peeing in the wind, and getting nowhere, if they can get somewhere, I'm fine with splitting it with them, okay?
Absolutely.
But, what I was getting at was initially, to try and follow up once you've established that. But sometimes you run, like I said, me being a boy from Alabama and Texas, you're going to run into that. Well, let me see, 256. He's Alabama. I live in Longview. hey, I have business contacts in Alabama. I don't want to lose that because as solar transfers over to Alabama, I have a multitude of contacts. I don't want to lose my number. So I keep my same number. So from that aspect, I'm staying ahead of the game because I know where solar is going, and I'm ready for it when it does. When people in Alabama see it and they all jump on board,
Hey,
I'm ahead of the game.
I'd like to throw this out there real quick. Then maybe as you know, a lot of us are co-op members, even the ones that aren't. That's fine as well. But you know, maybe we need to approach Rob and say, listen, because it's really not a bad idea. Like there are a lot of those times where you know you get the lead, maybe whatever they were interested at first, and you know you got the estimate bill, and you just can't get it to move on from there. Maybe you know we could work something out with Geostellar to say, hey, on those leads where we haven't been in contact, say, in, you know, 3 or 4 weeks, say it's been 30 days and we haven't done anything with them, and you end up reaching out and booking it, then you can get a bonus off of our commission. I don't know if anyone else would be okay with that, but I mean, if to us, if it's a dead deal, maybe that would give them some more incentive to go back and reach out to those people, knowing that, hey, I'll get an extra bonus.
And light a butt under some crew reps to make sure nobody slips away. Did you follow up?
Right.
I don't know. It's not a bad idea. I don't know if we could have Robert David talk about it and see if that's something they can work out on the upper end, but I'd be willing to put it out to them.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, you guys, I don't know if you're in the same place, but I have put in so many different estimates. I've emailed, I'm calling, I'm following up, and I'm at different events. And so, you know, sometimes you do get the bill, but I'm 80% of the time I don't. Like you said, they're, oh yeah, I'm interested, and then something falls off. I would rather just push that off because I want to keep going. You know, I mean, after a month, like you said, of you know, email and calls and texting and no response, hand it over, and then hopefully if there is any fallout, I don't care if I only get 50% or whatever out of that. I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't think if you get a bill or if you don't get a bill that, I mean, I agree with you 100%, you know, and sometimes they just won't. They sound interested at first and, you know, and then whatever, they fall off. But
and I mean, have a bunch of those sitting on my console right now, quite honestly.
Yeah. I think a lot of us
I was going to point out one thing. Jeremy and I, we have done so many shows, we put in so many and stuff like that, and every now and then you reach out to them and stuff like that. But one thing you need to understand is sometimes you're not going to get them. And like Susan, I completely understand what you're saying. Yes. And Scott, maybe there's something that we can put together with them and say, look, if you guys reach out and someone that we've reached out to, this and that. But after a while, you just kind of need to say, okay, I'm moving it over here. I'm moving forward to the next phase. Because they may seem very interested right here, and then you get to that thing and you do it and you send it to them and stuff, and you try and reach out and contact them, and there's nothing. You say, look, I'm putting it in your hands, Geostellar. If this account right here, this was a real customer, it's not a tester. You know, if you guys reach out and before you put them into the tester phase that they're doing, and you know when they change them over, you reach out, you get them. Hey, you get a percentage of my commission. That's fine, because then eventually you close. But another aspect is once you've talked to the folks, you may not hear something. It may be 6 months, it could be a year, and all of a sudden you get a customer down the road, about 2 miles down the road or something like that, and installed, and they happen to be the friend of this person. It's like, cool, you got solar installed in your house, and they're like, yeah, crew did it. Well, you know, I talked to them about a year ago.
Ding, ding, ding.
Well, why don't you have it on your house? Well, you know what? I'm going to give them a call. And there's always the aspect that they can reach back to you and talk to you. It's never a dead end. It's just sometimes they're I guess they're like Sleeping Beauty. They got to wait for somebody to come over and give them a kiss on the lips to get them away.
I love it.
I'll let Geostellar kiss him. I ain't kissing nobody but my wife.
Oh, Lord, Jeremy.
Now, Scott, you're a farmer, you know, and we all know.
I'm sitting here pulling weeds right now. Here's my garden for you.
I love it. It's work, but man, it's worth it. You just never know when you throw a seed out there. if it's going to take or not. And I'll tell you, I'm fairly new to, well, obviously I'm very new to solar, but I've been in network marketing for a couple years, and I'll tell you, I didn't know anything about it. You know, one of the things I did learn is that if you look at a bell curve, you know, you have a median right in the middle of that bell curve at the highest point. And most people are going to reside in that intersection there. And, you know, your early adopters are at the very beginning of that bell curve to the far left. Those are the people that are going to, like, go for it. But most people wait and they see if someone else is going to, like, go ahead and do it first, see? So, yeah, I mean, you do hope to get the early adopters, but you just never know when those seeds are going to take. They're watching everyone out.
Right.
See, not everybody's a pioneer. You got three kinds of people. You got visionaries, you got realists, or wait, how's it go? Optimists, which are the visionaries, right? Realists and pessimists. Most people are pessimists and realists. You guys, we're the visionaries. We're the optimists. You know, we're a very smaller portion of the bell curve, and you know that makes us special. I know.
Ed,
hard to find others like us, so you know.
I wanted to say hi to Tommy. I saw him pop in there. Hi, Tommy.
Howdy, Tommy.
And along the lines, like Susan was saying, and Scott and all was talking along this aspect, one thing you need to look at too is you may not feel comfortable if you've just gotten in and new. And like Susan says, she's got a bunch in and she's called and done stuff like that. But you may have somebody that's new in the business. Maybe their sponsor's not helping them. Maybe, you know, they're not quite sure and they're uncomfortable. You can always type in the notes to Geostellar, say, look.
He froze on us.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in unstable connection.
Not back in the box.
But
I think he may have froze on us temporarily. 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're froze
I'm
up
with
here.
you, man.
But
Hey, Lane.
What?
How many windows do you have open?
Dude,
Always
you
does
drove
it to
more than me, and you. Everybody saw what my mind was like on Monday morning.
Okay.
You lost connection.
Let me get on here. Okay. I want to show you something. Scott, you brought up a good point talking about realtors and insurance people and stuff like that. Let me show you. I got this email from my insurance agent today that deals with my car insurance. And he knows that he lives down the street from me. And he knows that I'm doing solar. And let me show you what he posted in his weekly newsletter. And let me share the screen. Sorry about that. Let me bring it back up here and share the screen. And this was in his newsletter today. And he reached out and said, I hope you like what I posted. He's got this link article, Is Your Home Ready for Solar? And he goes, Lane, anybody that contacts back to me, I am referring to you.
That is awesome, Lane.
On this aspect.
Wow.
And I said, Mike, I appreciate it very much. And there's a link talking about, is your home ready for solar to go through? And I said, Mike, I really appreciate it. He goes, no, he knew me when I was the head chef at the country club. He was a member there, but he's also my neighbor down the street. And he goes, I just wanted to let you know in the newsletter, it's a random auto newsletter that goes out. He posted a special email to me, and he goes, I just want to let you know there's a link in here dealing with solar that I want you to know about. If I get any contacts, I'm sending them straight to you. And so,
Sweet.
And that's how the camaraderie that you get with an insurance agent, a realtor that you may know, or something like that. You just let them know where they feel comfortable, that you know them well, dealing with, and they will start doing stuff like this. And he knows. And I've told him, I said, look, if you get I get any customer from you that goes solar, you get a referral fee, and it's not going to cost you anything. And then he sends me this email here from a month ago when we talked on Memorial Day. He came down for the barbecue, and he goes, Lane, I just want to let you know this is what I posted on my newsletter today.
That's very sweet.
He's a great guy. I've met him before. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So continue talking to folks that you know. It may be right now you're not quite sure about something, or you're not sure there, but continue talking. That's the most important thing. You know this stuff. You may not know everything. Believe me, I don't know everything. I continually reading and learning something. There was an article today from Arizona dealing with the store, the huge stores that's happening. I get LinkedIn messages, I get tweets, I get stuff from Facebook. I continue to get stuff from the SEIA, solar, continually getting stuff in articles. And when I get them, I try and post them when I can. I post them on the crew Facebook. I post them on the LinkedIn. I post them on my E-Tech Solar Facebook page. I try and send them out to y'all where I can. I try and post them in Geostellar, Breezio aspects there, and that's to help y'all along. It's not to lift me up for I'm a brainiac or anything like that, but it's to help you all learn more. So when you go out there and feel comfortable and say, you know what, I just read an article about a storage information. I read an article like if you're talking to a customer, say, I read an article about Arizona. They have a huge storage thing that's built up that they just put online. June 1st, this happened. And it helps you become, as Scott has mentioned and Rob and them have mentioned and stuff as you're talking, you become the solar expert, the go-to person in your area, in your group, in your church, in your
community.
Community, chamber of commerce. You're the one that they're going to look to. They're saying, you know what? I hear you're talking about solar. I know a guy. I know a lady. You need to talk to this person.
Lane, that's so it, and that even goes back to, I think it was Jennifer that had mentioned, about being in network marketing for such a long time, but never doing solar sales. And, and obviously none of us had, well, a few of us have done solar sales, but most of us haven't. I don't think at all, and I really think when you're approaching other people and you're talking to other people, when it comes down to the actual aspect of trying to get someone to go solar, listen, we're not network marketers and we're not salesmen. We are simply educators. We are people that are trying to let other people know something that they don't know. And if they knew about it, they would be very happy they did know about it. That's the whole idea, is that we're just fighting the misconceptions, So, when you're out there talking to people, let them know, like, don't ever say I'm in solar sales or I'm in sales and marketing for a solar company. Say I help. That's what you do. You say I just help educate people about the solar industry, and then those who wish to take part of the solar industry, you can make money from doing that. But other than that, your main goal and objective is just simply the more people you educate, whether they go solar or not. They may be talking to someone a week later who starts talking about solar power. You never know. So that's, you kind of have to, live, breathe, eat, sleep, drink solar. That's, I think I was only in crew for a week, and I had my first commercial customer because I was getting gas at the gas station. I walked in there and I'm just like, is the owner here? He happened to be working. I'm just like, you know what? I just started working in solar. I live 2 blocks up the road from you. Would you care for an estimate and let you know how much you can save? Sure, why not? There we go. Within 1 week, the Jason Loyett's like, how'd you do that? I said, I just asked him. That's all I did. There was no magic. There was no super marketing trick. I just asked them, and those who are interested will let you do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you didn't psych yourself out. Like, let me just tell you, I know just personally and from other people that, you get so into the mode of, okay, I'm going to train. I'm going to get this perfect. I'm going to know exactly what to say. And then it's like, you're spinning your wheels and you're going along the runway and you're like, I'm going to take off. I'm going to take off. And you just aren't going anywhere, You just got to just share,
Yeah.
The
People
problem
know
is,
when you're, all right, it's a difference between hunters and farmers. People know when you're hunting. They sense it.
Mhm.
It's like, just throw seeds, you know? Throw the seeds
Right.
out there, and, you know, if it's a fertile ground, it'll take, right?
Right.
But can I ask y'all about this? And I've heard you guys mention it. Susan mentioned it. Kira and some of you guys. Follow-up is so important. And I was looking for the slide that I took a picture of the screen on a training I did. And, you know, most people quit after one touch. This is statistics. I wish I could find that slide right now. But
I have that slide.
you
Yeah.
do? Okay, so what is it, like 5 to 7 touches?
I leave it
Yeah.
right on my desktop because it's so important. I will forward it to everybody. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
Suzanne.
my full screen. I literally have it on my desktop every day.
but most people give up after the first touch because of their own ego, I guess. They're not, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, you know.
you
They
deal with ego or insecurity. The most
And-
common thing.
right, yeah.
And I've had that myself. Both Jenny and Susan and I have had that too. And the
We need
consistency
training on follow-up.
and
We
the
need training on that.
continuation of the follow-up so many times, percentage, you get to this point. And that's where, like we were talking earlier, is you may be talking to someone, they may not go for it. They may not feel that that's what they're, you know, but that's on them, you know. But what's important is you may be talking to someone, like Scott mentioned, a week later. Oh, you know what? I was just talking to someone last week or 2 weeks ago about this. You know what? I think I still have their business card. Oh, yeah, here it is. And all of a sudden, this person comes to you and says, well, you were talking to so-and-so and said, I'm interested in solar. And he gave me the business card, or she gave me your business card. Great. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. It's the continuation of talking and stuff. And Jeremy and I both know we've lost sales. We've lost sales. We've had this. We've done this. You know, but we keep going. You can't let it not get you. I mean, of course it can get you depressed at times, especially when you've been pushing. You've got a lot of stuff going on. Just keep moving forward, because eventually you're going to get that one, that two that jumps into 5 and 10 and 15 down the road from the referrals after that. It's just to continue moving forward. And if you need to talk to someone, if you know, hey, I just need to talk and I need to ask your opinion on this, y'all know you can reach out to me. I'll help you any way I can. You know?
That's what we're here for.
Right. And that's why we do this webinar, because it helps being the open forum that we've got too. Everybody's input's important. You know, Jenny's put in great stuff. Karen has tonight. Mike, we were talking earlier. Scott over here, and Jeremy and myself and Susan, you know, and everybody's been in it. Everybody, your ideas and your thoughts and process are all important here. You may have something to come up with something that, like, well, everybody goes, wow, I didn't think about that. Or, you know, that's great. And that's what's important.
You know, there's something that popped in my head. I don't know if any of you ever watched CW, you know, with the Arrow and stuff like that, and Flash and all that. But y'all are familiar with the Green Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow, yeah, I remember.
Okay, well, I mean, I've been watching it, and for season 5, they had the deal with the guy where the Green Arrow let go of the arrow, and it shot right down the barrel of a pistol. I'm like, you know, he didn't get that good by. I'm immediately good. You know what? He kept trying. I followed the show. Practice. You know what you're going to miss? You're going to make mistakes. You're never going to get good and find out where you're bad at if you don't try. If you find, and this is what I've told my kids are naturally, and I'm going to say they got it, the idealism from me, and they got their drawing talent from their mama. But the thing is, they like to draw and color and so forth. I said, you know what? And they're like, oh, this ain't quite right today. Don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as what you can work on. You can take what you didn't succeed at. What did I do wrong? And how can I make it better? Once you realize that hey, that didn't happen. The question is why, and what can I do to change it?
Hey, yeah, that's exactly why I put that post up about my commercial thing the other day on Facebook. And please, everyone, know that. I mean, when we all post something about success, it's not to be arrogant. It's because we want people to learn from it.
Right.
Exactly.
Guys, I mean, when I first started with Crew, and I'm still fairly new, I'm only 3 months into it. But boy, when I went out there, I really hit the commercial side. I knew quite a few business owners personally. I just thought, I saw the potential. I went out there, and I mean, the numbers were the numbers. I mean, I spoke with 26 business owners just to get one project actually moving forward. But when I got a no from someone, I didn't let that put me down. That just gave me more momentum. I mean, okay, I got that no, it's out of the way. Let's keep going out there until we get that yes, because you're going to get it.
Go for the no. It's a book.
Yeah, it is. It's so important. I mean, the more you're told no, the more you learn from why you were told no. They will tell you why, and then you'll leave that appointment, and then you'll be thinking, man, I could have done this. I could have approached that. And then the next time going into it, how you need to do it.
You're training yourself.
Yes.
And along that lines, I can't count how many places I've gone out to and dropped flyers off and stuff like that. I've got a couple that I know I've definitely got one that's on hold, but that's because he's waiting for the city to come together with incentives. The city itself, not the state and stuff, but the city's incentives. We've already got the potential for the commercial one. And I'm like, that's great. You know what? It may be another 6 months down the road where something happened. But I did not push or anything. And you know what? I still text him. I still email him. Wished him a happy Father's Day the other day. And he goes, thanks, Lane. I appreciate it. You know what? These are not just customers. Become
their friend.
Yeah. Let them truly know that you care about them. And they're not just that sale. The Crew's not, as far as the people that I've dealt with, so many of y'all and know so many others, it's not just, as y'all were saying, you're not just that sale, as y'all mentioned earlier to them. Oh, it's just, the hunter versus the farmer, Jenny, as you brought up. You really care about them and want to help them. And eventually it will come around and things will happen. But yes, you're going to have, like I said, I can't count how many flyers and gone out and try talking to people and stuff like that. And they say no, but I keep going. I still go back every now and then and check with some I still email back.
Lane?
Yeah.
Do you have like a form letter that you send to like presidents or CFOs of commercial locations or properties? Kind of introducing who Crew is and maybe with the logo.
I have a few things that I've like copied onto a Word doc that kind of like email templates, I guess.
Yeah.
That I can send out through to the group email, and then everyone should get it, and anyone can tweak that however they want. But
or you can maybe post it to the Facebook files.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. If you post it to the Facebook, excuse me, my muscle relaxer's kicking in. If you post it to the Facebook file. Hey, don't even get me started when I had a pinched nerve in Valium. I called my nephew Nestor and his wife Jessica Nessica. Okay, so
get that guy a bib. So he doesn't.
Not that bad yet. But at least that way everybody has access to it, and that'd be something good for everybody to kind of branch off of, And I like the idea for our group, but everybody.
Karen, it looks like you wanted to answer something. What you got?
Well, I was want to go actually back to Jenny's comment 5 minutes ago about follow-up.
Yeah.
Thank you for raising that. I think it is key, and I have a couple of comments to say on that. One is it's a skill, and so that's something to be developed.
Right.
And I have a new team come on that I worked with in network marketing 25 years ago, and she taught me how to get on the phone, how to be comfortable, and when we have something, I'll bring it to you. But there are two different aspects of follow-up that I want to speak to. One is developing, like the woman that I met in the AT&T store today. I had to be real clear that my goal was simply, like, once I already had her phone number, something in my brain knew to stop giving her more information about crew, or the opportunity, or why stuff was good. So being clear on what your next step is with the person helps you stay focused. The other is that this woman that I was working with, part of our team, we had a follow-up system.
Glad to have you here, Tommy.
Okay. So a system
safe,
meaning not only was there see you, Michael, or sorry, Tommy, whatever.
Tommy.
Yeah, there we go. We have our console on Geostellar, but our system, we knew each person and where they were in the pipeline. Had we just sent them off to look at something? Had we called them? And so for here, if we are waiting, we need to know how many people are we still waiting on the electric bill? How many people have we gotten the bill, but we can't get them back? And so it's one thing when you got 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 people. It's another thing when you got 40 people in the pipeline. So it's interesting to hear how many people you guys are saying are just dropping off and you go on to the next one. I think if we develop a good system, and I don't mean to make this mechanical, but make a system so you always know where people are. We have emails nicely written, so you don't have to stop and compose an email to every person. You've got it, and you just shoot them out the email. Or if you've lost them for 3 weeks, we have emails that you drip. Or ding, 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 ding. Yep. We know their address, folks. Send them a card. Say it was so nice meeting you at Walmart or whatever. Deepen the connection. Give them something in their hand. So this inspires me to develop for myself and for my team and for our larger team. How do we follow effectively so we don't leave money sitting on the table?
Well, you know, Karen, there's actually in that new platform that they created for us on the back office, they have actually created like a mini CRM, customer relationship management tool that I played with a little bit. And I think it's going to continue to develop where you can actually put in either the person's name or the address and say, okay, follow up will be on whatever date. Or
where's this?
It's on that back office tool.
Where is the back office? Because I've been the console. I'm not clear. Also, where is the back office?
So you know where you go and it says the genealogy and
you're talking about join the crew.
You mean in crew?
Your crew back office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do you know what tab that's under?
Yeah, I don't know, Lane, if you can pull it up, Lane, but yeah, and it is actually pretty cool. And if you use that, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna use a tool, I need to only use one, so I can keep up with everything, right? And I don't want to do a bunch of spreadsheets and crap. I'd rather just have something that automatically tells me, oh, you said you were going to call them on Friday. Here's everything you need to do on Friday. Email this person, call this person, you know, whatever it is, you set it up from the last time that you made a touch with them. And then you decide, okay, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, whatever it is, and you put your note in and it will automatically fill in for you. And eventually I think we'll know, it'll be a great guide anyways for next steps, like what Karen was saying.
That's exactly what I was speaking to. Thank you, Suzanne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that tool is available to us. We need to just go in there and learn it a little bit. But I've put a couple of people in mind, and I think it's going to work. I just have to remember to go back and use it on a regular basis instead of trying to keep up in my emails, if you will.
Thank you, Suzanne. But all right, I know that we're all learning this, but you know, it would be nice if there was a walkthrough video or something of our new back office so that we knew where these things were, so that, you know, say we get someone new in there, we can direct them to that particular training video so that they know how to navigate the back office. And something else I want to speak of is duplication. You know, everybody is trying to figure out the most efficient way to move through this process of planting the seed, you know, for solar. We have to have an easy, duplicatable system that we can show to the next person that signs up under us that's easy, you know? And everybody does the same thing. I know that.
See where he's at on marketing tools?
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Contacts, yeah. But I agree with you, Jenny. We do need that, and I think we're the pioneers that need to create it. We need to figure out what those things are,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, we're probably going to be the ones if it's going to get done, because I think Robert has so much on his plate. And we can do little Jing videos. Like I know I do them for my other job, like just a little Jing video, and you actually do the walkthrough and it shows it on the screen. And they're just like 2 or 3 minutes long, no longer than 3 minutes for little mini trainings. Or at least the other software company I work for, that's our guideline. Like little training videos on specific features can't be more than 3 minutes long. So,
Okay.
and yeah, just that's a rule of thumb in the software industry, anyways. And yeah, I just think that's a great idea, Jenny.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So now, where are we looking at here? We're trying to find what you said, Suzanne. It was called the CRM customer relationship what?
Management tool. Like every sales team has a CRM. A lot of people use Salesforce.com or Oracle.com, or I mean, I've used all of them.
Okay.
We have a homegrown one for my other company, my full-time job, if you will.
Would that be under genealogy?
Where do we find this, Suzanne?
Let me see. He's working through. So when you went to marketing, when you went back up to that other one, Lane, to the marketing tool and with your contacts, what was there?
This is
under contacts.
This is contact manager. That's some of your genealogy aspects.
Contact manager? No.
Click on contact manager.
There.
Yeah.
What happens there?
I think this is
it's managing our contacts. So that's it.
Right. And so add a contact. So on your right hand side, no, this is it. Go to your right hand side lane where it says add contact.
Right.
Okay, so this is when you start adding in your prospects that you've submitted or that you need to follow up on. You put their name, their email, all their contact information, and then it will drop them in this list and give you next actions.
Right here.
Oh, really?
What did you do this time? And then what do you want to do next time? You can set a date to it.
Now, because see right here, like she's mentioning right there, you type the information in, and what will happen is they will be added in here.
Yep. So you'll have a running, and then see where next action is, the next action date. You set that.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to remember in your head, next Friday I have to call 4 people. They're going to already be in your thing here. And again, this is new, and I've just played a little bit, but I think maybe we should try to start working through this, and maybe like you said, Jenny, let's maybe if we can do some mini training videos.
You know what you're talking about. Maybe you could. I know you're super busy.
I'd be glad to. No, I would be glad to. Let me play with it, and let me come up with a couple little videos, and I'm going to send them to you guys to evaluate before we share with like the crew national, if you will. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask this: Is it Susan or Suzanne?
I get called everything. Susie, Suzanne.
Okay, I'll rephrase my question. Which one do you prefer?
I am open. Let me tell you, I love it all. It's all my dad's old friends from back in the day still call me Susie, S-U-Z-Y, and I'm like, yes, sir.
Okay,
what do we call you?
You can call me Suzanne's fine.
Okay.
Suzanne. Okay, that's good enough. Suzanne, when I first met Lane, and it's ironically funny that I went from working on a ranch to taking a evening job at a newspaper. Lane came in, and he had to use my redneck notes to learn how to. He already knew computers. Okay, I'm not discrediting him. He already knew his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing was, I'd already been trained by the other guy how we change the formats for this paper, that paper, the other paper, how we change it, the format, and so forth. And I wrote my redneck notes. I don't know whether it was helpful or confusing to him, but the thing is, we were able to get that lined up together. But there's one thing that guy told me, and he told Lane the same thing. While you're here at this particular computer, there's nothing you can do that we can't fix. Play with it, practice, try it. You Screw up, delete it, start over, try again. You know, Geostellar is not going to let you screw their software up. Believe me, Jason Wett's not either. Okay, so play with it, toy with it, tinker with it. But you know, the thing is, the one thing when Lane and me started this was because there were so many people being thrown against the wall and not getting any help. And yet, look what has happened. This is, I don't know if y'all like onions, but I love a blooming onion. And this has blossomed open to where there's everybody pitching in. Everybody's got something to add. And look where we're getting at.
We love your visuals.
That's, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
No, it's a good visual, and I'm getting hungry.
But anyway, the thing is, everybody's got something to contribute. And the one thing I want everybody to think about is think about how long you've been doing it, doing this versus the other network marketings that you dealt with before. How much do you really know about this compared to what you used to know about the other product? Chances are you know more about this and how you can help the customer better now than you did with the other product, most likely. That is contagious, Karen.
Sorry.
I get busted for that at work all the time.
Okay.
But the thing is, everybody pitching in, you know what, it wouldn't be a bad idea, and I was going to throw this out here to Lane, and now that we're down to 6, you don't even know where I'm going yet. I'm out in left field, son.
Jeremy, you thoroughly enjoy this venue, don't you?
I have fun with this. Actually, what I had in mind was, and Lane, y'all give me your input, yay, nay, you know, especially with the doing the videos and so forth and seeing what we can do, not only for us, but others in crew as well. But how should I say, a practice session. You know, they were trying to do it before and it never really took off. If anybody's got like they want to do, hey, you know, we met you here or something, you know, hey, you came up to my booth and you want to ask a question as somebody that doesn't know anything. To kind of a practice session on how would you respond. You know, something to consider in due time. A practice session. How do you answer people?
Like role playing?
Role play. There you go. I've never been good at it, but you know, it is an effective measure. You know, it's an effective tool.
And you know, Jerry, I will say this. I've been in formal corporate training sales and been through several high-end, high training sales formats. And you know what? It goes back to exactly what you said, what you've always said ever since I've been joining these. When somebody comes up and they talk, it's this, what interests you about solar? You know, and then find out from them. And that's where that conversation evolves, right? Maybe it's saving money. I don't like the way the government is. I don't want everybody having control. I don't like the electric. And it's just like, what interests you about solar? Why would you get solar if you did? You know, kind of started there, not about selling it to them, but if you could get solar, why would that be important to you? Boom. And then let them talk their brains out. They're gonna sell themselves by the end of that conversation.
Yeah. And Susan, we kind of talked about this last week where I mentioned if when we're doing a show or you're talking to someone, especially like at a show, and someone comes up and they say, well, what do you think about the Hawana Q300? You know, solar panels. What do you think? They're better than the Q-Cell, you know, 270s. You know, I said, look, I'm not really along the lines of the engineer or the technical stuff. I know that they produce this and this, but let me ask you this. You seem to know a lot about them. What's your input on it?
Yeah.
And you let them talk.
Yeah.
And I told Jeremy, I said, I would love to have somebody come up to us because a while back when we were citizenry and it was the leasing stuff, it just didn't dawn on me, but I said, I'm just waiting for a show, somebody come up and ask that now, to where I ask them and say, you listen to them and say, you know what, I appreciate that information, that knowledge. That's great. You just help, you know, educate me. And I told everybody this last week, but then you turn around and you ask them, when you look at them, when they're done, I said, man, I appreciate that information. You just educated me. How do you like them on your house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why?
Yeah. Why? Exactly. Why? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like that. You don't have them, but you seem to know a lot about them. Well,
And I think my whole thing was they spent, companies and corporations spend thousands and millions of dollars on sales training. And that's all it comes down to is asking why? Why would this be important to you?
right.
Do you like that, your electric company still can, raise your rates every month and you have no control? Like just anything that's open-ended where you can get them to talk, right? That's it. And it naturally evolves to whatever's important to them. And it's every customer is going to be different. They're going to have a different pain point, something that's going to hit them. And then you're going to know, oh, that's what really riles them. This is what's important to them about solar.
Okay, I have an acronym. It's called FORM.
Called what?
FORM stands for family, occupation, recreation, and money. And these are the main areas of how you find out the pain. Like people want to talk about these things. And you can find out a lot that way. I'm not an expert at it, but that's something I learned.
Yep. And for solar, there's only a few key things, right? Look, they want to save money on their bill. They want to be a social advocate or green leader in their community. What's another one, guys? I wrote down
the ones that are environmentally minded,
yes.
They're financially minded, and then you have the ones that are minded about
getting,
if they're not worried about money and finances, or the environment, they're worried about the longevity of life for their children.
And the separation, and the decentralization, stepping away from being attached to the electric companies and the power companies. Yes. They want to start stepping away towards being off the grid. I think those are the three key main factors for anybody that's interested in solar for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So any one of those that you can bring out and be like, okay, why? Yeah. All right, I got to run, guys. But you guys have been so awesome. I love you guys. All right.
That's great, Susan. Thank you.
I love you too. I have to run too. I've got an appointment at 9:30.
All
right. See you guys. Take care.
Night, y'all. And as soon as I get this recorded and saved, I'll post it up for everybody.
Great.
Hey, Jenny, if you don't mind, the thing that you had, the form, send that to me. See, for me, I'm the type, I got 3 priorities in life. God, family, then job.
Yep.
Job, I got to have the job. Take care of my family. Huh?
You mean the acronym? Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, text it or email it, either one. But the thing is, if I don't take care of my family, if I don't have my job, I don't take care of my family. If I don't take care of my family, I'm not fulfilling my obligation to God.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. Trust me. Absolutely. I think a lot of us have that similar mindset. I think that's why we're all in this, to be honest.
But the one thing I thought about today, I got a little bit of a break today, and I thought about it, and I was thinking about how the country here, what were they all based on? Freedom of choice, freedom of, it's freedom. And I'm like, you have the freedoms until you turn around, somebody's got this pay, they got that, and this and that, family, occupation. There we go. But the thing is, where are people now compared to, if you turned around and put the people that founded this country today and told them they had to buy their electricity to have power, they had to buy it from this company at this price, there's nothing they can do about it, and they keep raising the price.
Yep.
You have another Boston Tea Party, or they'd have a Boston Electric Party, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
They would retaliate, and it's something that you could reflect. How would our forefathers from this country feel if they were in our shoes today with the electric company and the way everything is lined up?
Mm-hmm.
Not having a choice, it's a monopoly, blah, blah, blah. How would they feel?
Yeah. Well, and is it happening in y'all's area like it is here in Florida, where like we have Duke Energy, Orlando Utilities, we have Florida Power and Light. They are all building, they just put on the books like another 7 to 8 solar fields they're building, because they too know they are going to have to start offering solar, right, to their customers so that they can be the green. they're just changing their business model is all they're doing because they know they're having to. But it's the same thing. You're still going to have to be paying them. You still don't have any control about when prices get raised. You're still out of control. So that's another good reason for us to go. So
and you're still paying for the solar farms in advance, is what Duke Energy's been making us do for the gas power plants.
You're paying them, and they're still benefiting.
Yeah,
See, I'm from North Alabama, and they have the TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority.
Yeah.
And they have solar stuff, and actually they have something set up, and it is a huge network. And I mean, I'm proud of them for doing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their rate is still going to go up every year. I'm like, okay, so basically you're not ruining the earth, but yet you're still gouging the customer.
Yeah, they have to make money. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's about
Susan, I brought this up last week. Number one thing, overall, out of all things dealing with solar, and I've mentioned this where people say, hey, that's cool, my utility's got a solar farm they're doing for it. I say, yeah, but are you still paying for it?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah. I said, well, are you paying for buying your solar panels, or are you paying for utilities solar panels?
Right. Oh, no, I agree. I get it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And after
that's why they need to do it now.
Right.
That's why they need to buy their own power now.
Right. and with the financing, with the residential 12 years and most of commercial is 8 years, say, you know what, in 12 years, are you going to keep paying your bill to the
and we should
with the solar?
You know what?
Or
I have to run, but I would, you bring up a good point, Lane. I want to talk to you guys about that instant estimate and that page, that last page now that has those 6 columns. It almost becomes like too much information.
Yeah.
For I don't know if you guys are getting the same feedback, but they like look at all those numbers and they kind of like their eyes gloss over.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed them.
Yes, I'm wondering if we can't, here's what you paid with the electric, here's what you're going to pay with solar, here's your savings, and boom, be done.
The one thing that I found out, Susan, is I think it's page 5. Don't get me wrong, I'm trying to remember. With the graph, with the cost, their ITC credits and stuff.
Yep.
That's the number one page that I want the homeowner to have. You can send them the stuff with the solar panels, what type it is and stuff like that. But the number one page that they really need to have in their hands, right off the bat, is that one for them to show interest. Then you can
visual savings. Visually they can immediately feel it, see it, know it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on that. I think that last page,
and
they just shows crazy.
It shows the financing. The first year is this much. Mm-hmm. Then after that, it says this much for the next 12 years free financing. Then after 12 years, it's free. Now, you can send them the whole profile and pre-assessment. But like you said, I'm not saying we're hiding anything, but that one page has all the information they need.
I love that.
Them, and if they're interested, then from there, it's an easy hands down to them. They're like, hey, I want more. So, well, I've got a few more pages for you to look at.
Well, I think it's actually, I think it's actually maybe page 4, but
it's either 4 or 5. It's right in that area.
Yeah, it's the one with the graph on it, and I know exactly what you mean. All right, I got to run, guys. I love you guys.
Okay.
Have a great night.
I do too. I have an appointment at 9:30.
No problem. Good night, everybody.
I don't want to miss anything.
You guys are doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all are doing a great job.
Good night, y'all.
Y'all are helping us.
Thank you guys for leading with your heart. I feel it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Lane.
Take care.
Hey, Lane.
Yes, Mike.
Hang on a second. What I was talking about is in several spots in the crew question and answers on our regular page there before you were to log in, like if we were to send a customer there, to look at all these things. I haven't checked out the new site here, but when you go under the headings of About Us, the Crew Co-op, our values, which is where you showed us the professional and the fundraising stuff. Anyway, if you go under a couple of things like the Q&A, how much money do I need for my installation? It talks about dividend in there for financing. And then also down under decentralization, it talks about dividend for financing. And I'm just wondering, is that just left over from our sites changing, or are we involved with dividend again through Geostellar for financing?
No,
It's probably left over. That's my guess.
I think it's just left over, and that's something that we can check with Rob and them on. As I
Okay.
know, the integration of the software and changing, and there might be a glitch here or something. You might email and pass it along to Robert. I might forget about it, but if we all
Yeah, no problem. Well, I wrote everything down because I was
Yeah.
kind of going through that. I didn't realize we had so much information
Right.
there, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's
Right.
it's a lot of changes. I had a guy in Houston, Mr. Siddiqui, contacted me today, and he was trying to get in and change and log in and stuff. But what I would do, Mike, you have Daniel Stouffer's email.
Yeah.
I would email him directly. He handles the web pages. He might go, oh wow, he might not have even realized it, and they'll take care of it.
Yeah, it's probably just mere oversight, just transferring everything over.
So much going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I figured too. But there was also one thing in there that said that your tax credit to apply to your loan principal. And that was the first thing that caught my attention. And then I started going through and reading everything just to be sure if there was anything else left in. That's what I found, all that dividend stuff.
Right, because like Rob mentioned last night on the video and with David and on there last night, that they have the option to apply it to the loan, or they can keep it. It's a different standard than what dividend. Even with dividend back then, you were able to keep it, but they'd start charging you more interest and stuff like that. Well, a lot of things have changed, a lot of aspects, and they're dealing with a lot of the software and stuff is changing. So, yeah, shoot Daniel Stouffer an email about that, and he might say, wow, I didn't even notice that. And that's one thing that's neat about this company, of course, Mike, is, we run across something, we can shoot them an email right away, and they're like, wow, thanks, we missed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's one of them deals where you're trying to juggle 100 ping pong balls at once,
Right.
I dropped a couple. Oh, God.
Yeah, I hear you.
I didn't even realize it was there. I've been, Lane, I know what Lane's he's been trying to help a buddy of ours, in addition to doing this, and I've been sitting there trying to do 200 other things. It seems like 5 things can seem like 500, when you just get overwhelmed. But, you've had a little time to notice that. And I'm like, oh, my God, well, let's, like Lane said, let him know.
That's why I like doing these forums and stuff with everybody on, because there's a lot of things I miss, things that don't catch. I'm like Jeremy said, I've been helping a friend who was extremely sick, had a kidney and liver transplant. I've been helping him run his business for the last 2 weeks. He was in the hospital 2 weeks ago on the weekend. I was up there with him all weekend, and he's doing fine. Business running stuff, but he's backed up. So I've essentially been doing that. I haven't been doing solar as much, even though I'm got a lot of stuff coming up. I've got a magazine article coming out, stuff from a local magazine here where they've reached out and had information about the E-Tech Solar and Crew company, and done kind of a question interview and send them stuff. But there's so much going on that some things I miss. It's like Susan bringing this up in the back aspect. I used to know everything about the back office. Now I know quite a bit, but I haven't been in there and checked and done this or done that.
Sure.
And so that's even new to me. And it's like I tell everybody, and like Jeremy said, just get in there and play around. Get in there and do stuff and click on this and see what this does and this does. And it's great.
Finalize.
Right. It's great that they want to put together a little video training and stuff like that. That's great, man. That's what this is all about. What we're doing here and what we're trying to do.
Hey, Lane, if we get if they're able to get a video deal going on and so forth, and we get it lined up, I can get Vicky involved and we can turn around and translate it to Spanish.
Yes, excellent. Yeah.
And that way we can turn around and angle that aspect too. Michael, my wife helped translate the PowerPoint over into Spanish, the original PowerPoint that Rob had.
I got you.
She helped translate it to Spanish, and he did a thing with Spanish, and he kind of tapered it off because there wasn't you know, we had people getting on, but nobody asked questions. Nobody say anything. They just kind of sat there. And Rob's like, I'm not going to waste my time. You know, if they got questions, we're moving forward. But let's go. You know, but like, you know, in Alabama, you know, there's a term. You know, are you in the white clay or you the red mud? You know, turn your wheel zigzag your way out, or you just in white clay, and no matter how much you spend, you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You know, so if you're gaining momentum, keep going. If you're not, then you're wasting your time, and that's where he was at with the Spanish. And with the Austin deal, when we went to Austin, I think his name is Gustav, I think is his name. I can't remember exactly how it's pronounced, but he's asking for more information in Spanish, and Vicky was going to help translate it to some of the information to Spanish, and we didn't know it at the time, but my wife was pregnant at the time, and she ended up miscarrying, but that's, you know, she got sidetracked, and that's why, you know, with the pregnancy aspect, she got derailed, lost focus, you know, and it's like, and then, you know, just worrying because she'd miscarried a couple of times before that, and, you know, she was sidetracked and she couldn't focus.
Sure.
So, but now we're at the point, you know, she's like, okay, I lost the baby. Okay, I can't sit in, I lost my baby land, and she's moved forward since then.
Sure.
But anything we can do, you know, on the Spanish aspect to help out in the Spanish, like I said, my Spanish, I speak 2.5 languages, English, redneck, and halfway on Spanish. So, you know, I can halfway communicate, and I've had Vicky help me. We actually met a guy in Austin that we help answer a lot of his questions. I was able to answer about nearly half of them. I was able to answer in Spanish, but I had to have Vicky translate for me for the other half.
Right.
But the thing is, when I met him in person, he's like, man, you know, y'all helped me so much, you know, and I'm just glad to help. But, you know, there's a whole Spanish market there that we can tap into that so many people are missing out on.
Yeah, actually, and we have a lot of Spanish, you know, Hispanic if you're.
Especially in Florida.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Florida, you got people from Cuba, you got people from Mexico, you got people from Guatemala, Panama.
There's lots of.
Name one I missed.
Yep, there's lots of them.
So
yeah, that'll help us here too, I'm sure.
All right, guys.
Yeah. All right, yep. Same here.
You guys have
Right. You guys have a good evening, and you guys be safe up there in Texas, okay? We'll be thinking about you and hoping everything's all right. No problem.
I got my rain boots.
There you go, brother.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be as much rain as it's gonna be wind. So but you never know. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. You too.
All right, you later, Mike.
All right. Bye-bye.